We're here with Stephanie.
Hi,
How you doing today, Stephanie?
I'm doing great. It's Sunday. The sun is shining. How are you doing?
Good. She's so vibrant. What beautiful, vibrant energy coming on the show today. Again, with the Perspective Podcast, we just have real conversations, authentic, nothing scripted beforehand, just genuine conversations about hardships, adversities, things that ultimately have impacted us, shaped us into who we are, share some strength. Anyone who's going through something similar can, get some value, perhaps learn to situate themselves and navigate through whatever they're dealing with a little bit better. In today's episode, we cover divorce and starting a brand new life from zero. First of all, we touched up just very briefly on your story. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how your social media platform grew, for instance?
So, I originally started my social media sharing fashion content. That's what I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
And I was going through a tough time in life. I was going through a divorce, and I started talking about people in my community about what was going on.
Yeah.
And I realized that so many other people had a similar situation to me. So I decided to start sharing my story on social media.
Yeah.
So I launched a series called Divorce Diaries, and I kind of have been documenting everything that I've faced in the past year and sharing what I'm actually going through, and that I'm a person that has, difficulties, and I'm a genuine, authentic person.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people related to that, and
Yeah.
I grew a big audience. I actually did a podcast in Australia and Canada.
Oh my God.
So my story kind of blew up from there, and I've just continued to share it on.
I love that.
Yeah.
So basically you opened up with a very intimate moment in your life
Yes.
and then got feedback that ultimately grew your following.
Yeah.
Some raw, vulnerable things, you know?
And I do still get some hate sometimes, but I feel like the positivity outweighs the negativity.
Yeah.
And yeah, I grew like 20,000 followers from sharing my story
Wow.
in a short period of time. I went live with my story last May.
Wow.
Yeah.
So not long ago, really.
No, not long ago.
Wow, that is
I'm very
amazing.
new to everything that's still happening.
Yeah, for
So I've
sure.
just been sharing with everyone as I've been going.
That's awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome. See, that's exactly what I'm trying to accomplish with the podcast. You know what I mean? I think the narrative these days is that people just pretend that they have these perfect lives on social media and almost are timid to get deep, get vulnerable, share a little bit of, real life. You know what I mean? And then you just coming on the show and telling us that your platform grew
Yes.
because you were vulnerable and you got that is exactly, you know what I mean? It shows that what we're trying to do here is already happening. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Which is absolutely lovely. I love to absolutely, oh, goodness.
Yeah, I feel like for so long before I shared my story, I was like plateauing with where I was. And once I started showing just who I am, I feel like people respect that more and like get to know me on a personal level and want to, support. And,
Yeah.
I get messages of people sharing their story with me all the time. I have people's kids that reach out to me saying it makes them feel less alone in the divorce world and everything that's going on with broken families.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've reached a lot of people, and all of their stories and everything is what makes me keep going.
Wow. So tell me something about some of the stuff that you share on your page, or what was one of the first posts that really gained traction that, caught with people.
So the biggest reach, I had around 4 million views. I was shared my story with what I faced with family court in Connecticut.
Okay.
And it was a very difficult path. I mean, I was very vulnerable. I thought about deleting it multiple times because it was at my worst.
Yeah.
But I also decided to keep it up because it's just showing my growth.
Yeah.
Like everybody goes through a tough time.
Right.
But I had a tough time with family court, going through divorce. There was a lot going on.
What was some stuff that you were dealing with that was
So
hard?
yeah, my ex-husband, we had, a lot of domestic violence. And I had a lot of people, a lot of resources, and he worked for the city we got divorced in.
Yeah.
And
wow.
Yes, and he had to resign from his job because he got caught sneaking police, nurses, firefighters into the fire department, having an affair with multiple people.
Oh my goodness.
They all covered it up, got mad at me, and told me to stop sharing my story, because they didn't want everybody to know what's going on behind
Yeah.
closed doors.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I was told it was my fault he had to resign his job and I should have been quiet because he was the financial provider and I was a stay-at-home mom. So once I
Ooh,
shared that,
that's
everything
deep.
kind of took off.
Yeah, that's a powerful story.
Yes, yes.
So, what made you want to actually share it?
After talking to moms in my community, because before the whole divorce process and everything happened, I was a stay-at-home mom. And I would go on walks or catch up with mom friends and I would tell them what was happening.
Yeah.
And everybody else is like, me too, basically, with just toxic relationships behind closed doors that nobody would know. Because
Yeah.
on the outside, everybody thought we were a perfect family for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
But once I started sharing to people close to me, I realized that there are so many other people who are probably going through a similar situation that aren't, ready to talk about it yet.
Yeah.
And I figured I should my gut told me to start sharing my story.
Yeah.
And I just decided to one day.
So like it was the very first post you ever made about it, and it just kind of boom traction.
The first post I made about it was about the affair. And it was only one at the time.
Yeah.
And I just kind of shared, like, this is what happened. And, like, I'm going to turn my life around. Like, I'm not dealing with it. And I kind of just started sharing the paths I was taking and what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then after sharing about the affair, I had a bunch of girls messaging me. And that's how I found out there were, like, 6 other girls
Oh wow.
after sharing about the story.
6 other girls that
Yeah.
your husband I was having an affair
Yeah.
with. Wow.
Yeah.
They all messaged you about it?
No, different people.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Like
Wow.
fire wives and stuff.
Insane.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the first one. And then were you just like angry? You were just like, I just need, or like, did you feel like there wasn't anyone, outlets or people in your circle that you could like really talk to? So you felt like no one was on your side. So you felt like, you know what, I'm just going to put it on social media and essentially see if there's somebody here who can help me out a little bit.
I mean, I never realized how therapeutic sharing my story could be,
Yeah.
and I guess seeing other people that were dealing with it, I just, like, my gut told me to just, like, share it.
Yeah.
And I did.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then the first one, you started getting some feedback.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, this is actually, my gut was right.
Yeah, I got like 10,000 views in a day from just the affair video.
Oh, snap.
Yes.
So you still create like what is it called? A divorce series thing?
Yes. So I shared my whole court process and we were coexisting for a while because I had where was I going to go? I didn't have money or anything.
Yeah.
I don't get child support. I don't get alimony. I don't get anything.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting a job in August. I needed a job to get out of the house because we were coexisting and I couldn't have my kids be around that. So I got a job so that I could get my own apartment. And I shared that all with my followers. Like, all right, like, I had to get a job. Like, going from stay-at-home mom to now working 12-hour days, 5 days a week because I had to commute so far.
Yeah.
So that was also like a challenge and something new for me that I had to do for the kids.
Yeah.
And then getting my apartment, like I showed the whole transformation. Like there was a point, like me and my kids were literally sleeping on mattresses and blankets. Like we didn't even have pillows. Like we had a makeshift bed on the floor. And I totally transformed it in 2 months. And actually I shared it this past week and I got like 45,000 views, like showing like we were sleeping on beds struggling, but like now here's my girl's room.
Yeah.
Like
Incredible.
I want to remember all of the struggles that we have gone through because I don't want to get jaded by whatever the future has to bring. Like, I don't want to forget that we struggle. I think it makes us who we are.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds deep. That sounds so powerful.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I say all the time, too. Like, even like to my therapist, anybody, like, it was Thanksgiving and I asked my 6-year-old, I'm like, oh, like, what are you thankful for at night? She likes to talk at night. And she's like, my new apartment. And like, we don't have much. Like, we've got the essentials, but she's just so happy to be there to have our own place. And it just goes to show that, like, kids don't need all these material things. Like,
Yeah.
they have a safe space where they're happy. They have the essentials. And, like, that's all you need.
Right.
It just opens up our mind to, like, how different the world is and, like, what we really need and what we can appreciate.
What are some of the negative comments that you get from like your posts?
I have a lot of men yelling at me.
Really?
Telling me like they understand why I'm divorced.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like, no wonder you're divorced. I'm like, okay.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How do you respond to that? How do you handle that?
I don't engage.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably
Yeah.
the best course of action.
Yeah, because I thrive and spread positivity. I try to take a negative and turn it into a positive, and I feel like engaging in that is just pouring out negative energy that I don't want to waste my time on. Like,
Yeah.
I've never been happier in my life, and like, people are always going to hate no matter what. Everybody's not going to like you no matter who you are, no matter what you do.
Yeah. For like the people that are like now engaging with your stuff, are you finding that it's like more on the side of people asking you for advice, or is it more on the side of people wanting to like help you out?
More so advice. I feel like more than anything, I always get advice, whether it's like relationships, boyfriends, toxic relationships, what steps to take, any resources. I've gone and tried finding resources in different states for different people because they don't know what to do either. There's a lot of stay-at-home moms that reach out to me and they're like, I don't have the financial funds to leave. I don't know where to start. What do I do?
Wow.
So I did make a reel too, letting people know before I got my job what I was doing to make extra money. So I was like, like you can babysit kids for cash money that like you can hide if you don't want to let whoever know you're planning to leave for safety reasons. A lot of people have that they don't want to let their spouse know that they're planning to leave.
Yeah.
So I said, babysitting, find something you're passionate about, open up an Etsy shop, content creation is always a good option. And then when I was leaving, I started stashing like toilet paper and paper towels and like essentials from the house when I knew I was leaving so that it would be less of an expense down the road. So
Yeah.
I tried to act smarter, not harder.
So wait, so you guys got the divorce, but then we're living together.
Yes.
If you guys already had gotten the divorce, why do you need to sneak out to like
Yeah.
live somewhere else?
I know, isn't that crazy? I felt like I had to cooperate in the house to like make it okay. Yeah, I know it's crazy. And
So was it like a personal thing? Like did you, or was it like,
yeah, I felt like I couldn't say that I was planning to leave because I
scared?
felt like I'd get thrown out then. Like
Oh.
I needed to secure a place
Yeah.
before letting him know.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And once he found out, he locked all the doors and the windows before the court date. I technically had till November 18th to move all my stuff out anyway. It was court ordered.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he had to know in his head I was eventually going to leave, but he also wanted to work things out still, even though we were divorced. So it was a whole bunch of emotions while we were living together. And like, let's do this for the kids, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I secretly got my apartment and I wanted to plan on, slowly furnishing it because that's a huge expense as well. And he ended up finding out. Yep, locked all the doors, windows, everything, which I technically still had 4 more days left in the court order to get my stuff. And it's a Sunday night. And it's a school night. And I'm home. Everything's locked and he's out at a concert. I got my kids that are 2 and 6 years old. I'm trying to jump through the bathroom window because their backpacks, lunch boxes, diapers, clothes, all of our essentials are locked in the house. So I had to take the kids, go to my apartment because I had the keys. And that's when we decided to start sleeping on mattresses. And I had to fill out a police report to get all of my belongings and everything. Because, I still had time to live there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, how many kids you guys have?
2. And they're 2 and 6.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so like that's the thing, like forget me, but like you're locking your own children out of the house and my 6-year-old's with me trying to jump through the window cuz like
Yeah.
daddy locked us out. Like we got to think about our kids. You could not like me, but
When did you move out? So this November?
yes.
Okay, so it's very recent.
Yes.
How's like the dynamic between you guys?
Not so great. We're going back to court next month to put some boundaries in place and more of a consistent, stable routine for the girls because the court order says he has liberal parenting access to the girls. Like, what does that mean?
What does that mean? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So he kind of just picks and chooses and tries to control a lot of situations. So I reached out to them saying that, like, this liberal court order is not working and it's not fair to the kids because they need consistency and a routine. So, and to have boundaries put into place for them because now he has a new girlfriend. And I found out that him, the girlfriend, her daughter, and my daughter are all sleeping in the marital bed together. Which, I don't think is in the best emotional interest after 1 month of leaving the home. I
Yeah.
think that just is a bit confusing.
Yeah. I have a question just
Yeah.
out of pure curiosity. So like I felt like you said it was domestic violence.
Yep.
So I can only imagine there's like fear involved
Yeah.
in you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what like posting, you make this thing very public.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that could really like stir some things up like even more severely.
Yes.
So with the mind of like the domestic abuse and the fear, what made you like go over the hump to, you know, like put it all out to potentially like what if it made it worse?
Yeah. I mean, I filled out lots of police reports, and the police have always told me, like, it's domestic, it's not criminal. There's nothing they could do about domestic violence, and I've had a whole history of it. I said to them, and maybe this is why I shared
Don't
my
people go
story.
to jail for domestic violence?
No, they said it's not criminal.
I've really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Everything. Yes, I've had so many police reports. I've worked with women and families in Connecticut, and I'm actually being a speaker at their gala event in March to share my story and like how I've, turned everything around. But one thing I said to the police, like, if I'm dead, like, you have all of this on record. And maybe that's why I'm sharing it as like a documentary essentially of mine, because if I'm ever dead, everybody will see everything I've gone through, and I'm not even kidding. That sounds insane.
Sounds terrible.
But yeah, I don't know.
You're that nervous?
No, not anymore. But there were times I was,
Yeah.
because there's just, I don't know.
Yeah, no. My earliest memory is experiencing that as a child in my home, between
Yeah.
my parents, like all the time. You know what I mean? So I can definitely empathize.
Yeah, and before I found out about the affair, what made me want to leave, 2 weeks before I found out about the affair, my daughter at the time was 5. She said to me before going to bed, "Mommy, why is Daddy so mean to you?" And like that just like obviously like is a gut punch, because she's 5 and she's watching all of this. So I'm just showing her that behavior's okay.
Yeah.
So I prayed to my grandma. I said, "Give me the sign I need to leave." And 2 weeks later, that's when I found out about the whole affair. And that was like the evidence I needed to like
How long was this going on for?
the affair.
No.
Oh, everything.
Yeah. Like, how did it start?
We were together for 11 years, and there were always like, I want to categorize it as like narcissistic behavior in a way. I mean, I felt like the good outweighed the bad. I so badly craved the good for him. So like even when there were bad times, I just craved it, like a drug addiction. Like I just wanted
craved the
him.
bad times?
No, the good times.
Okay.
Yes, I felt like those good times were so good
Yeah.
that they outweighed all of the bad that came with it. And I hoped so bad if I could like be good enough that he would want to change for me, which is insane to say.
So this was from the very beginning?
From the beginning. Like, we've broken up a few times. There were always rumors about him being with other women.
Yeah. Did you have like, again, I'm just like asking
Yeah.
questions. And I don't mean to be like,
I'm an open book.
I'm like, I can be very forward sometimes.
That's
very-
totally fine.
But I'm just,
Yeah.
genuinely interested. Did you feel like you had low self-worth going into the relationship?
I guess so. And reflecting back on it, I so badly, and just like growing up, like I've always been in relationships and stuff, and long term, like we were together for 11 years, and I so badly, we were 22, wanted to hit the milestones of getting married and having kids. Like my parents have been together forever. They were high school sweethearts. I feel like our generation just like wants to get married, have kids, settle down. So I felt like I had a timeline in my head. And we were together for 5 years when we got pregnant with my first. We weren't married yet. And then we ended up getting married after that.
You said
But
high school sweethearts?
my parents were.
Oh,
So
okay.
I wanted something similar. And
Yeah.
I met him when I was 22.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just, was hoping like I would be good enough. I kept, trying. But I'd always get little remarks.
So
like,
you had a fantasy
I guess so.
in your mind
Yes.
about, what you wanted, and you kind of forced the fantasy almost.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like looking back now, I would never deal with any of those red flags.
Yeah.
Like I was told I was too stupid for him all the time. Like just so many little, like, "You're too stupid for me." Like I would never forget. Like there were so many like fresh comments. And I remember trying to be smart for him.
Trying to be smart?
Yes.
What
So
does
that I
that
would
look
be
like?
good enough for him. I don't even know. Isn't that crazy?
Like were you like reading? What do you mean try to be smart?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
just like, what does that look like? What does that mean?
I don't know. I try to be smarter.
You got like glasses or something? Like
No, I was in
prescriptionless
school.
glasses?
I was in school and I was trying to like make my vocabulary better and just not be so like
Wow.
bubbly. I was trying.
That's awesome.
It's silly.
That's not
to
silly.
do for.
I mean, it's not silly to do for your partner, for your
Yeah.
like who you love. You know what I mean? To actually put in effort to want to be better. But um, I think that there's also like levels. You know what I mean? If it's built together,
Yeah.
you guys are trying to be better for each other,
Yes.
then that makes a lot of sense. But if it's stepping on and you're trying to be better, I don't think that's a good look at our value internally.
Exactly.
You know what I
And
mean?
I realized after we got married and had our kids and everything that no matter what I did would never be good enough. Like, I will never clean the house good enough for him. I will never look good enough for him. Like, he told me I'm just not attracted to pregnant women when I was pregnant.
Yeah.
So then I started obsessing over how I looked postpartum, working out, doing everything so he'd at least be attracted to me.
Yeah.
So I tried like to clean good enough, to be a good mom, to do all of these things, but no
Yeah.
matter what I give, just won't ever be good enough.
Right.
And I don't need that because I'm good enough for myself
Yeah.
and my girls, you
Right.
know?
Right. Well, how were your parents? Like, how did your how were you talked to growing up? Like,
I know, and everybody says that. Like my parents have been together forever. I feel like I had a normal childhood. I am a people pleaser. I was very shy and quiet. People used to call me mute in school because I was shy,
really?
which is funny because I'm not now. But I never had like a traumatic upbringing. Like we went to Catholic school. My mom's my best friend. When I was in high school, I mean, like I was a rebel.
Yeah.
So like we did not get along for a bit, but you know,
Yeah. No, I
nothing
get it.
nothing traumatic has ever really happened to me. That's why
So
I don't know why I feel the need to be such a people pleaser.
yeah, right. That's
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
even like if for the silliest things for friends, like sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to hurt feelings, or even at my job, like I don't like to say no, and I don't know why.
And that's always been the case.
Yeah, yeah,
Just who you are.
that's who I am. All my friends are like, you are the biggest people pleaser ever.
Interesting.
Yes,
Wow.
I try not to be. That's what I'm working on this year. I said.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That's definitely good. I think you're definitely putting in good effort. You know,
Yeah.
you're doing some things for yourself.
Yeah.
Got some footing now.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Like, that's really good, and that's something that we definitely, all need to. Maybe not all of us, but it's good to work on that.
Yeah.
You know, that's powerful. Kind of puts me back a little bit. Makes me think. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get it. Like, I know situations that I've seen. Like, I don't know why people put up for that stuff.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like I just don't understand it because I grew up in that type of environment. My tolerance is like, I have no tolerance for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I see some like abusive type of, whether it's like emotional abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse, like I catch wind of that, done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not dealing with it. You know what I mean? But I know, like, for instance, like with my mom, she dealt with it for a while and she wasn't able to kind of get away. And she kind of told herself, she gave herself a rule. She said, the day I tell my mother about this, that'll be the last day that I'm with him, because once my mother knows, there's no going back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like she put up with it for years and years. And I just don't understand how someone can, I don't get that.
Yes. And it's crazy. I say to other people I see dealing with it personally, like you're going to have your enough one day. Like you need to have your enough. And I feel like these people that are doing it try to take away your self-worth so you don't have it in you to stick up and have your enough. I feel like dealing with so much emotional abuse like takes its toll on some people, and it's hard to leave what you've been comfortable with for so long. I mean, like,
Yeah.
what's the safest way to leave? Like, am I financially set to leave? Well, what are the paths that I take? Now I have to, leave my family house that we work so hard for. Like, there are just so many obstacles that make it hard.
Yeah. I still just don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like, I don't know. Maybe just because I grew up in it and I have like such like I'm so sensitive to it
Yes.
that like I'm willing to do whatever it takes to not be in that. You know what I'm saying? So even if I'm on the street,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing that.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I believe in God. I know He's watching. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be okay.
Yes.
You know?
And that's what I say to my girls too. And like anybody dealing with it. You might not know what the future is going to bring to you, But so far in your life, like, you've been okay. You've made it this far. And I say to my girls, like, we've always been okay and we always will be okay. I don't have a plan. I don't know what's going to happen, but I will make sure we are okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. Do you like sell products online at all? Do you like, you do?
I don't have my own individual products, but I do work with brands and collaborations. And
That's so awesome.
yeah.
I want to get to that point.
Yeah, it's fun.
God willing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I feel like also for me, like maybe when I was first started this content creation, I was doing it for me more than I was doing it for like the value of what, people could get out of it. I think that's kind of like, like I think sometimes when we have certain like fantasies,
Yes.
it puts us in predicaments. You know what I mean? If we're doing things for like, we're creating our own time crunches,
Yeah.
we're creating our own qualifiers for success. Like I have to do this to be successful. I have to get 1 million views or I'm not successful. You know what I mean? Like,
It's a lot of
no, like
pressure.
why can't you just wake up in the morning and that's success? You know what I mean? Why can't you just like, take a nice breath, walk out, go for a walk,
You
and
literally.
that be success.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You know how big that is?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to use your words, to speak to somebody, to listen to something, to breathe.
Yeah.
That's success.
I agree. People take the littlest things for granted.
Right.
And that's why I said, like, today, it's Sunday, the sun is shining, it's a good day. I woke up.
Yeah, yeah, right.
You
You
know?
have such vibrant energy.
It's perspective. And I say that all the time in like all of my videos. You could sit and feel sorry for yourself, or you could look ahead and have that positive perspective to turn your negativity into some positivity and make the change. Like, live the life that you want to live and that you deserve to live.
Yeah.
The only person who could do it is you, though. You're in control of your life, nobody else.
Right. No, 100%. And that's what this is all about, like to give people some perspective. That's why it's the Perspective Podcast.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like we all have struggles that we're going through. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we're just ordinary people on a show talking about some things that are happening.
Yeah.
And we have guests and guests and guests with so many different walks of life, so many different perspectives on ways people are struggling differently. You know what I mean? Everyone has their thing and we're not alone. And that's why in this social media thing, I love how you have gained traction from opening up and being vulnerable, telling your stories. There's so much stigmas.
Yes.
Like if you say this, if you have gone through this, then now people look down on you for whatever reason, or like that was a narrative for a while.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Rather than seeing the strength it takes, they only see, I don't know what they see.
The small glimpse of it.
Not even. It's just like circumstances and situations happen. You know what I mean? Like it is a left turn or a right turn. It's really as simple as that. A situation. You know what I mean? And then just because I don't know what it is. Maybe it's an internalization. They feel like they couldn't handle it. They can't handle it. So they project to be like, damn, I would be broken beyond words if I had experienced something like that. So they are tainted. Realistically, that's not the case.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Crazy.
I know.
So I really love that testimony that you have on here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Showing the fruits of being honest and vulnerable.
Yes. And I say too all the time, it's 2026. Every family is different. Like, I don't need to worry about having my kids grow up into a broken family because, everybody is different. And at the end of the day, I'm setting an example and showing my kids what they should expect in life with friendships. And I used, their dad as an we don't have friends talk to us in a negative way like this, they don't understand relationships so young, boyfriend, girlfriend. But if somebody in school was fresh to you and talking that way, I wouldn't want you to just be their friend because they're your classmate. You gotta not be a people pleaser to everybody like I am, and you got to stick up for yourself. And I always tell them too, my number one rule is to love yourself, because if you're happy with yourself, then you're not going to seek validation in so many people trying to be good enough and not accepting, behaviors from people that don't respect you the right way.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said, hold on. Yeah. You said be happy with yourself?
Yeah, love yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, self-love. I think it's so important.
Yeah.
Because you could do anything.
Yeah, it is. It is. There's a happy medium too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think serving people is really fulfilling.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Obviously not to the point of like if you're choosing to serve people, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
in a way that is, I don't know, like this is like, there's nuances to stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think you can succeed without the service,
Yes, for sure.
you know?
And it
Like,
feels good too. And I feel like once you love yourself too, though, what I say, there's difference between self-love and selfishness.
yeah,
Can't confuse those two. But I
yeah,
feel like if you're genuinely happy with yourself, you're going to want to help others or do good for others. I feel like it just makes, if you feel good about yourself, like it'll make you feel good to do good for other people.
yeah, yeah,
You
definitely.
know, it's very rewarding to make people feel
100%.
happy or good or to go out of your way and do something good for somebody.
Right, exactly. And when you're choosing it, if you're really satisfied with who you are,
Yeah.
when someone refuses your help or steps on your help,
Mm-hmm.
you don't take that so personally.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because you already know, like, you're just giving love,
Yeah.
and people just reciprocate where they are. They meet you where they are. You know what I mean? Sometimes people want to just do things on their own,
Yeah.
you know?
And that's okay. My response always is everybody's different.
Yeah, for sure. Wow. I'm like, this is full circle. I just had somebody contact me the other day who's like a divorce, like they guide people through divorce,
Okay. Yep.
and they like were asking for some video services. They wanted, um, but she helps people in the sense where when we're going through the divorce process, a lot of the people doing this, they don't look at the kids. They don't see how it's traumatizing, PTSD, like it's actually causing this mental thing to the children.
Yeah.
And so she has like this service that she's starting to, well, she's been in practice for a while, but she's now creating her own thing. But you know, just guiding parents so that it can be as smooth as possible so that the kids don't suffer.
Yeah.
You know, like that's really important. And maybe I should get you in contact with her or something.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Maybe that would be, um, but you know, you would know the situation. It's just something you can keep in your back pocket if ever.
Yeah.
But
Because everything's for the kids, you know?
yeah,
And I feel like it's bouncing off the kids and the self love that we just talked about. I never learned to love myself until I had my kids, like my first specifically. And I never worked on my self worth or anything, but I love them more than anything in the entire world. And I want them to like see how important it is. So they grow up happy and flourishing and all of that. And I left the toxic relationship like for them. And I try to, model and be very neutral with them with any exchanges or anything going on in both households.
yeah,
I think it's important because I said this on one of my Instagram videos, no kid ever wants to think badly about their other parent. Like, say it to your friends, you could bitch to who you want to bitch to, but to your kids, like at the end of the day, like that's their other parent and nobody wants to hear anybody speak negatively no matter how you feel because they're too little to understand that.
right. Yeah, it's definitely a good outtake on it. Let them formulate their own opinions.
Yes, they'll grow up one day and have their own opinion and see what they see for themselves.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's tough, man. Partnership is so important.
Yeah.
Choosing the right partner is
Yes.
huge.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would ever change. I mean, I wouldn't have my kids if I chose differently, and I feel like maybe all of this happened to me for a reason at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I feel like I was meant to just deal with all of this,
But think about how many people you're helping at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, all these people who are reaching out to you to ask for guidance on, these situations where, you have someone in the court system, you know what I mean? And people
Yeah.
telling you to like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It seems pretty complicated.
Yeah,
And maybe you are going through it for a reason. You know what I mean? I think you are.
I do too. I feel like I've never loved life or been happier in my entire life like than I am now, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I'm also nervous about this type of stuff too because it's so fresh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you never know. I don't know this guy.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on in his heart, what he's
Yeah.
thinking about. You know what I mean? So like I'm also kind of like nervous. As I've mentioned before,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Sharing my story on the podcast, it's had its repercussions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. Like it just kind of put me in my head a little bit,
Yeah.
you know?
I get it.
But I'm not trying to like,
It's okay. It's okay.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I just think about that. So then I also thank you for being brave to come on the show, but at the same
Yeah.
time, with every guest I give the opportunity, if you don't want to post this, we don't have to.
Oh, I appreciate it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's that.
Yeah, no, I'm easy breezy.
Easy breezy, beautiful. And we
Yeah.
continue to keep trekking forward and going through the fire to help the viewers.
Literally,
To
yes.
help the viewers, someone who may be going through something that they need help with. You're being courageous and you're kind of paving a path for people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I respect that.
People need to have their enough and like do what's best for them.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, it's got to be done. So, change has to happen.
Right.
And I'm more than happy to advocate and speak for people and motivate them.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's tough to go through, but nobody that has gone through it has said they wish they didn't leave. Like, everybody says they wish they left sooner. So you got to just take that first step because you'll be happier in the end.
Right. There's also like this whole thing, like there's a lot of divorce these days. You know what I mean? And I feel like some of them are like warranted. You know what I mean? Like they're like, you know, maybe finances, habits, abuse,
Yeah.
you know, to children as well, children abuse or whatever. And then some, I don't know, like so it's just so popular these days. Just like I also feel like divorce favors the woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they can just like take half, and like it's just because they are now dissatisfied. And I'm not saying that's the situation here.
No, I got nothing.
You know what I mean? I got nothing
I got nothing from my divorce. Okay.
except some bruises.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
dark humor, dark humor. sorry.
No, you're fine. No, I mean, I will get bought out of my house by September,
Yeah.
but I get no child support or alimony. So I got nothing
Yeah.
besides half the house
And two beautiful children.
and two beautiful children. Yes. And like my perspective, I was pissed at first, and people that I do tell are like, well, what do you mean? Like, shouldn't like a dad want to help pay for his children at the end of the day instead of like spiting you? Like you're the mother who birthed their children.
Yeah.
But it just motivates me to work my ass off harder. Like, I don't need you. I don't need your money. I could figure it out my damn self. Like,
Oh,
work harder, work smarter. You know,
Yeah.
it's not worth the battle and the fight. Like, if
Yeah.
that's what makes you feel good, keep your money.
This isn't easy. That's not like you're not on an easy path.
No.
You know what I mean? And that's why I respect it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love to see. I love a good story. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's a crazy story.
Yeah.
You know?
You know,
Yeah.
so I'm definitely praying for you and your children.
Yeah, me too.
I'm
Thank
also
you.
praying for your now ex-husband.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully, you know, he can
Work on himself.
get some love poured into him. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
maybe not try to hurt others. I don't
Yeah.
know, but I'm not here to try to tell him what to do at all.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, this is a touchy subject.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very interesting. Very interesting.
I know.
Yeah.
But,
It's just like a flashback, you know what I mean? Like I go back and I think about like the type of person my father was, and I
Yeah.
also like I think I'm like also like kind of projecting to feel like what the course of events were, and I think my father was very unstable.
yeah.
Or the demons in my father, I should say.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like not my father, but you know the things that were manipulating him.
Yeah.
You know, those spirits that were coming in and taking over him to do some terrible stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
For so long, I felt bad for my ex-husband because, and it's crazy. I don't blame him for being like the way he is in his head in a way. I think everybody has past and trauma. So I did feel sorry for a very long time. But then again, every person has their own upbringing and issues, and it doesn't excuse you to treat others so poorly. You know?
yeah, that's why I think it's I don't know. I think it's spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think I don't know. It's very interesting, this type of stuff. I could really go into it for days, but you know, that's another day for like some biblical. That will be a biblical episode
Yes.
where we have like, you know, real deep conversations on the type of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. So is there anything that you like want to touch upon or like share upon or like
Nothing specific.
no?
I'm happy to answer anything though.
Yeah, I'm just like kind of lost. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm back in my head a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I feel like I shared a little bit of my story and I kind of told myself I wouldn't moving forward. But maybe that was just fear. You know
Everything
what I mean?
happens for a reason,
Yeah, for sure.
you know?
I don't want to live in fear,
No.
you know? And I feel like I'm supposed to be an example when it comes to like this type of stuff. Like your story has like it directly correlates. Like that's my earliest memory is watching my father beat my mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it is what it is. Like again, I'm like very grateful and happy to be who I am today, and I wouldn't be me
Yeah.
without this. And I do feel like it is meant because I'm strong enough and I'm able to help people, and I'm built with so much gratitude in my life
Yeah.
that that is nothing. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? For everything that I've seen, witnessed to,
Yeah.
experienced, like I'm so grateful. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I have so much success. It's crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I am beyond blessed.
No, I'm so happy for you.
You know that?
Yeah.
And I really feel like trials are testimonies. Trials are, it reveals who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It reveals who you are. You
It
know?
does. And my mom always says, like, God will never give you what you can't handle.
That's right. Exactly. And it just goes to show, like, this is also recent. And you already have, like, a following of people who are, like, already looking at advice for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
No, it feels good, you know?
Yeah.
And I also like share tips for like any moms who are dealing with divorce and like things that I do to try to set boundaries and just set a good example for them too. I only try to share positivity. I
Yeah.
don't ever want to take anything negative, but any way to help kids and women going through a tough situation.
Well, it's hard to share. I mean, you can't just only share positivity.
No.
Because if you hadn't shared, like, this negativity,
Yeah.
people wouldn't be relying on you.
Yeah, no. And the struggles, and that's why, like, I've documented everything along the way. Like, I was sleeping on a mattress on the floor. Like, I had nothing. I was stealing food from the house.
And you were posting it, like, real time,
No,
basically? Like,
no. I mean, I videoed it, and then, like, usually I won't post in real time, but
yeah.
I'll do a transition of, like, here's where we were now, and here's where we are.
Oh, okay.
So I did like 2 months ago when we first got our apartment. I started out with like us sleeping with the mattresses on the floor, and then I transitioned to like last week. The girls finally have their beds and their rooms looking nice.
And that's when you made the post.
Yes.
So you had the
Yes.
post of, like, when it happened.
Yes.
And then the transformation.
Yes.
And
So I
then,
usually combine.
so it wasn't, like, as it was unfolding.
Yeah.
It was a video that told the story of before and
Yeah.
after.
So a lot of storytelling I do.
Yeah.
So I'll always save my in the moment clips, and then I'll usually do a whole storytelling
Very cool.
reel. Yeah.
Interesting. I might
To
have to
show,
pick your brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe we could
Totally.
if you're maybe we could partner on social media
Yeah.
stuff.
I'm down.
You know what I mean? Not just
Yeah.
for like our social medias. I'm saying like for businesses.
Yeah. Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm down.
You know?
Yeah.
You have the metrics, I have
Yeah.
the equipment, and also the other stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, that could be an interesting thing.
For sure.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Hmm. So like now like that you're like how do you approach how are you going to how are you going to approach relationships now? Like moving forward.
I actually talked about that one on my reels, like dating tips or like red flags I look out for. So I just pay attention to red flags, and like right now, like I'm not like rushing to date anybody. I feel like I've never been so happy with myself. However, I'm open minded to anybody that puts in an effort. I have noticed with certain people, you know, like red flags right away, like wanting to text all the time, the love bombing. I try to pay attention to certain behaviors and stuff early on. It's still new, but I have my guard up and I don't need to settle. My standards are very high, especially being a mom and like after everything that I went through.
How long were you guys together for?
11 and a half years.
When did you clock out? Do you still have love?
No.
When did you clock out?
I'd say before I found out about the affair.
How long was that?
So probably 2 years ago.
That's when you just stopped loving him?
There was more bad than there was good. Yeah.
So that's why like you still like when you stopped loving him,
Yeah.
were you just like was your heart ready? Like how much time does someone need to like find someone new?
I don't know. It definitely depends on the person,
Yeah.
you know. And I even tried. I felt guilty, like while we were coexisting and going through the divorce, and he wanted to make things work, but I was just so turned off by the trauma. Like I couldn't unsee it, and it just gave me like, ugh, like, you know, there's no way I could forgive everything, and it would happen again, based off, you know, like 11 and a half years. You can't really change those habits. I don't think. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think it's just a pattern for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I tried even after I got
The ick.
the ick in my gut and my soul. I felt bad about it, but yeah, it was trauma. And like that's how I felt about the house. I was trying to fight for the house for a while, but then eventually, like I knew I couldn't buy him out. I'm like, just fuck this house. Like there's so much trauma here anyway. I'm gonna
Yeah.
fight a battle here for all trauma, like and
Right.
everything. I mean, fine, keep the damn house.
Right. Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah,
Good call for sure. Stuff just lives in your body.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can forgive, but like your body still.
My body rejected him. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Life is filled with so much nuances.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know.
You know? It's beautiful. I'm really grateful that you came on the show today.
No, thank you so much. I'm glad I got to come on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
This is awesome. You know? Cuz I love sharing and opening up about my stuff too because it is a
Yeah.
testimony and I feel like it can help a lot of people.
For sure.
And with you coming on, it's like I kind of got faced with it again. When I first made this podcast about 2 years ago, I was willing to share my story, no problem. And then eventually, it kind of caught up in a way that, whatever. And I stopped making episodes and I stopped sharing my story. I stopped basically giving my real insight, my value, my understanding, my depth. You know what I mean? I would just ask questions, thought-provoking questions. And I think for the most part, that's pretty solid. You know what I mean? Asking thought-provoking questions, but also having a level of understanding, I think, is also part of communication.
For sure.
And I think appropriately speaking out and sharing my experiences is appropriate. And I think now it's also getting when guests come on who have similar situations, then I can have a conversation as someone who understands and someone who
Exactly.
knows. And I feel like that's the opportunity.
And
You know what I mean?
our paths are meant to be for a reason. You didn't plan on sharing your story, but it was just meant to be.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like I'm like you have it as like in my mother's perspective, and I have it as like from the children's perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My earliest, I remember grabbing a belt and trying to hit my father and telling him to stop hitting mommy, and then him pushing me back, yelling me to go to my room.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just I don't know. I mean, again, I'm built with gratitude, so like I'm just like really over it. Like
Yeah.
I've healed through it. Even though like I did kind of get in my head, even though when we started talking about this, I kind of like started to think about it a little bit more because even though I've like healed from it, like it still has its emotions. It still motivates you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I still feel like called to do something when I hear this type of stuff. Like it's still, it makes me upset. It makes me want to do something. You know what I mean? It makes me want to, I don't know, like it just gets angry. It makes me want to find a way, have this podcast, try to help some people, maybe shine some light, express something. I'm not quite sure. You know what I mean? Because I can only help. There's only so much my body can do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I could try to fight people off, but it's going to happen a million times outside of the doors that we're operating in,
Yes.
So to hopefully see if we can potentially do something with just conversation, thoughts, provoking, and then the fact that you decided to open up and share this type of stuff too, that's really powerful,
Yeah.
And again, the world is unpredictable. You know what I mean? Just in my case, sometimes people pop up and they want to like display a message. You know what I mean? And I actually kind of got weary before when guests came on. I feel like because I was telling my story and then, it kind of blew up in my face, but like, stirring up the past and people trying to stop me from speaking out. I felt like, wow, this is insight, and maybe I'm doing that for my guests. Like maybe I'm stirring some stuff up that was just fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and like that kind of like puts me in a weird place. You know what I mean? And I think the only way to really understand is the fruit. You know what I mean? And I think number one is I don't want to live in fear. And I love how you're also being someone who's displaying courage and not living in fear. You know what I mean? And even, I want to say this too at the same time, even if it goes in the worst direction for me, you know what I mean? I still don't want people to stop showing courage, even if I die.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't mean that I did not succeed. You know what I mean? I could very much have succeeded, even if I die. You know, and I don't want it to be something that deters people from trying. You know what I mean? We look at the flesh, we look at the world, and we try to gauge our success off of how rich someone is, how many women they get, how their fast cars, if they live a long life. You know what I mean? People don't really measure it off of these things that you can't really see, the inner fulfillment. You know what I mean? The impact, the ball that has been, the domino that was pushed, that, then topples over a whole bunch of other stuff 20, 30, 40 centuries later. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like, big names, Newton, whatever the heck, like, they didn't get the recognition when they were alive.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these geniuses, they were geniuses after they died. They never knew they were geniuses. They were just crazy people their entire life. That's how people would address them.
That's an amazing point. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
No, it's
get
true.
the ball rolling.
Yeah.
That's what I have to say.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And you got the ball rolling.
Yeah.
So, fuck yeah.
I know. My goal also, I ended up doing a nonprofit or launching my own name in the state of Connecticut. It's called She Survived Mission. And I'm going to start working on that this year because I specifically want to help any stay-at-home moms who feel stuck because there are no resources. I'm fortunate and I was able to get in an apartment after my job of 2 months. Like, I lucked out, but a lot of people aren't. Like, to find an apartment, you need job history, job longevity, you need all of these things. And I feel like there's not enough resources to help women in the state at all. And I feel like that's why a lot of people are stuck.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's 8 degrees today. People can't go live on the street with their kids.
Can I also throw in some things?
Yeah.
Is it also because, like, with divorces, like, for the majority sense, I feel like women get a lot out of the divorces, right? Like, I think for the majority, but I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, do you think that's probably why there's not resources? Because usually, they walk away with something.
Well, going into the court process, though, I didn't even have a lawyer at one point. That's why I got screwed. My husband took 100% of the funds, so I couldn't even retain a lawyer in the court process. So you're not getting child support or alimony while you're going through the divorce, which takes an average of 14 months in the state. So what are you doing for those 14 months? You know, and, like, where do you go? Like, if you don't get the child support or alimony, depending on your situation.
Yeah.
Like, I got bullied into accepting everything. Like, basically, I just wanted to be done.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be done. And that's why I was like, fuck it. Like,
Right.
so it depends on, the court system. If you have a lawyer, but I tried getting free legal aid and they told me my court date was too soon. Like, even if I qualified, it was too soon
Yeah.
for lawyers to prepare. So
Jeez Louise.
I feel like you need a lawyer if you're going through a divorce, for sure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, one lawyer quoted me $40,000 just to go to trial. That's not including all the emails and the phone calls and everything.
Sheesh.
So, like, what are you supposed to do? Especially, like, I had nothing. I mean, it was, like, I was a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
So I feel like,
That's a beautiful resource that you're setting up.
yeah, I want to do something.
Yeah.
Just in that specific target, like stay-at-home moms, like, there just needs to be more. And I did reach out in the state of Connecticut. I worked with a women and family center. I was living with my mom temporarily with the domestic that was going on last summer. And my parents don't have a lot of money, like, to give me for a lawyer. And it was like 100 degrees in the summer. Like, we had no air conditioning. I got the 2 kids. We're all sharing a bed. And the Women and Family Resource Center sent us an air conditioner and they gave me resources and helped me out. But I want to do something, like, more too.
Yeah.
There just needs to be more out there for people.
Yeah. Definitely. You would think that would exist already. Like, all these things for both men and women.
And then the domestic violence people, I mean, they forgot about me. Like, I have it all documented. Like, they forgot to call me. I had to have the women and family people follow up with them because they have an influx of people that there's too many people dealing with it.
Wow.
Not everybody's getting helped.
Damn.
Yeah. So.
You don't even know all this stuff's going on.
No, and also what bothers me is like family court is so like strict and not understanding, and I feel like criminals get public defenders, but like women and children don't even get a lawyer appointed to advocate for what's best for them. Like there needs to be a resource like that. Like
Yeah, no,
you
for
know,
sure. I can't believe
and they
that
need
there
to
isn't
be
one already.
no,
That sounds insane.
no. So I feel like they need to be more understanding, and like I felt like I was a criminal in family court.
Why?
Just the way that they talk to me.
Was that also because he had the
His
connection?
lawyer, and he had a lawyer. I didn't. So his lawyer ripped me apart and was not so nice to me, telling me it was, my fault for speaking up and sharing my story, my social media. Yeah. Attacked my social media. And then he started following me and liking my stuff after we got divorced, okay?
Who, the lawyer?
Yes.
That's some weird shit.
Right?
Sheesh Louise.
Yes. But I wish family court was more personable or helpful and not as strict. Like the way I talk, I don't know legal terms. I don't know how to talk. I've never been in a courtroom in my life.
Yeah.
They're like, you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm like, okay, like I have all this evidence here. They didn't even review my evidence because I didn't submit it properly.
That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Did they allow you to go back and submit it properly?
No.
No?
It was all submitted on the judicial website, but it never got reviewed. Ever. So that's why I think everybody was all in cahoots working together.
I've always noticed these, like the systems that we have that are at play, they are never like operating well.
No.
Like hospitals, courts, like it's actually just a lot of bullshit.
It is.
You know what I mean? It's just normal people dicking around.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what it comes down to. And just he say, she say. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Oh, in schools too, colleges. You know what I mean? Like all of it is just straight dicking around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, it's like asking, like you go to an employee, like asking if they have a thing in the back. Nah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to look. You know?
Yeah. They don't want to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Same thing. Like DCF in the state of Connecticut is ridiculous. And a 2-year-old just got murdered by his dad this past week. It's like everybody's got to get their act together so like these things don't happen. And when people are, saying that there's concerns and there's no follow-up and it's just a tap on the wrist.
Yeah. Damn.
There's just like way too much that nobody knows about.
That's fucked.
Yeah, I know. It makes me crazy. I love kids. I actually have a degree in elementary ed and a minor in infant and child development. Like I just love kids so much, and that's why I just like want to do something.
Yeah.
Because kids deserve more.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do. They deserve to be poured into.
Yeah.
Every single one. I think humans in general deserve to be poured into. Adults, like community is lost.
Yeah.
And we need community.
No, for sure.
I don't think we should ever stop pouring into ourselves and into our surroundings. If you're pouring into yourself, you should also be pouring into the things you associate with.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And there's nothing more valuable than human connection.
Yeah.
And God.
Yeah.
Like.
For sure.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else to touch upon. I feel like we covered quite a bit.
I know. I think we did too.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like, if there's anything that you want to like close out or if anything that you want to address, if there's, you know what I mean, you can take the table and take the stage.
Cool. No.
Cool.
I think I covered it all.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was powerful.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for taking the time to come through this for your story. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
No, thank you for having me.
All of it, you know? So I really greatly appreciate it. It was very lovely to be, brought back. You know what I mean? Like,
it's meant to be.
Yeah.
The universe wanted it to all happen.
Yeah, no, it's good timing. It's always perfect.
Yeah.
It really is.
No, I love that.
So thank you again.
Thank you
so much for coming on the show. That was a wonderful episode. I'm going to link your socials down in the description below. So anyone who, aligns with her message, wants to reach out for some advice or just to follow along in her journey, click that, give her a follow, leave a comment, like the video, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.